Hello, my name's Nathan Leary and I'm a graphic designer in Australia, and I'm going to show you guys something pretty interesting, which is just a standard practice with most professional graphic designers, and that's in Photoshop, Adobe's Photoshop. And what I'm going to show you is all about non-destructive editing, well, at least a part of it, and the general philosophy behind it. Now, with this with this picture here, a way of not the wrong way of doing non-destructive editing would be to like smear something or make some edits which I change, make some edits to this image without being able to go backwards in time effectively. Now, on Windows machines, you can actually make a few different mistakes on the computer, and then hold Control Alt Z a couple of times, and it will go back in history one step. Now that's great, but because Adobe Photoshop has issues with RAM, because it takes up so much RAM to hold these images and all the different layers in the images, it basically you can't go back many steps without sucking up a lot of RAM and changing it in the preferences. So what non-destructive editing is about is that, first of all, anything you're going to edit, you usually duplicate it, and then you edit it. And basically, I think, well, hey, this actual image here, I don't like that, so I can just cancel it out. And then I decide, hey, I do like that change to the image, so I go back and I can just remake this layer visible again. Or I only like I would like it on opacity, so 50%, and then it's a minor change to the image. Anyway, this is one thing which seems to have a huge advantage over GIMP. The open source software that is in competition with Photoshop, and Photoshop is just, as far as I'm concerned, an absolute master of non-destructive editing. It's got some fantastic tools here, like for example these adjustment layers, like hue and saturation, and you just hold down Alt on Windows, and then you click in between the two layers, and then it will clip this alteration directly to the layer below it, which is fantastic, because then it means that, hey, I don't want a red sky, I want a green sky, and I'm not going to change anything which I can't just go backwards and get rid of the changes in the first place. So that's the philosophy between non-destructive editing, and I'll show you a couple of cool things which I think is quite effective with non-destructive editing. Like for example, if I click on a layer and then I right-click on the actual away from the text and away from the mainly away from the icon there. If I right-click, I can go Convert to Smart Object. And converting it to a smart object basically means that this object, I can apply a bunch of filters to it, like say blur it. I'll do a very exaggerated blur on this, and then basically I can take out that filter and add extra filters to it, or even change the amount which it's actually blurred through Edit Smart Filter. Right-clicking on the little icon there and going Edit Smart Filter, and then I can actually change the amount which this smart object has been converted. Now that smart object is fantastic because it not only handles images, but it also handles Adobe Illustrator files as well. So I hope you get a lot out of this, because I think it's just it should be a standard practice which most graphic designers, or anybody really who gets into Photoshop, should definitely think about using. Okay, have a good day.